Hello and welcome to What the Hell is Stranger Things? If you pay attention to the internet at all, you've heard about Stranger Things. I'm pretty sure I've heard about Stranger Things online every day for the past 3 months. If you've never even heard the phrase Stranger Things, welcome. Hello. Stranger Things is an 8-episode series on Netflix. The world has been raving about Stranger Things, and I hadn't watched it yet. This didn't even sound like a show that I would like. It didn't. But there was like too many people talking about it for me to ignore it. I don't like E.T. E.T. freaks me out, and I heard, oh, it kind of feels like E.T. I'm scared of E.T. It also feels a little bit like Super 8. Another alien thing. So I didn't watch it, and then 2 nights ago at like 10 o'clock, I watched episode 1. I'm thinking I'm gonna pause it halfway through, watch the rest later. This all-consuming need to continue watching the show seized me. It's been so long since a show made me think like this show. All I could think was this. All I could worry about was this. And this is just the first night. So I wake up the next morning. I have work to do, okay? I have to film. I'm getting my makeup on, and I'm also watching Stranger Things. And then I had breakfast while watching Stranger Things. And then I filmed for half an hour, and then I watched Stranger Things. And then I had lunch, and I watched Stranger Things. And all I could think about was Stranger Things. I couldn't listen to music. I could only think Stranger Things. I could put on the Stranger Things theme song, and that's what I could think about. The last time I was like this was when I watched Lost. I started Lost when we had 4 seasons. So that was a much worse, much more time-consuming phenomenon. I like a good mystery, and I needed to work this shit out. But then that combined with the fact that I am scared of aliens. I am scared of that stuff. It freaks me out. I get scared easily. I watched the first few episodes of American Horror Story alone, and that shit haunted me for months. This isn't exactly scary in that way. This is scary in like a thriller way. If you're afraid of aliens sort of stuff, you might like feel anxious. But also, you want to watch it because shit, this is good stuff. Everything yesterday was Stranger Things. I went to bed with 1 episode left to go. I purposefully stopped because it was dark and I was alone and I did not want to be scared or more than I was already. Now that I've watched the final episode, I know that I could have watched that last night. It wasn't scary in the way that I get scared. Shit, that show was good! The show's like a mind drug. It takes over everything and you can't concentrate on anything. I wanted to listen to music, but I couldn't. My mom was like, why don't you try putting on music and dancing around? And I'm like, no! Why don't you put on the Olympics? If I'm gonna watch anything, I'm gonna continue watching this show. The only cure is to get to the end. I feel so free now. It only takes 8 hours. It's a pretty quick watch. Especially when you're watching it like a crack addict, making each and every excuse possible to get back to it when you're not watching it. And all you can do when you're not watching it is think about what might be happening, what will happen, what's going on. Now, you shouldn't go watching any trailers for this show if you haven't watched it yet. Just go on Netflix and start it. I was gonna do a book haul today. That's what this video was gonna be. Not only is the storytelling excellent and all-consuming, you know, those all-consuming, it's rare when a story is all-consuming like that. You got out of Inception, you thought about that for a while. You can't stop thinking about this until you get to the end of this. It also looks beautiful. It also has great music. It also has excellent characters, beautiful cinematography. There's gonna be a 2nd season, I think, because everyone, literally everyone in the internet world is talking about it. It'll infiltrate your world soon if you're not in the internet world. My mom hadn't heard of it yet. So it's not in like the mainstream yet. It's making its way tweet by tweet, Facebook post by Facebook post, human by human to you. I already showed it to you, so you know now if you didn't know before. People around you will start to know. Stranger things have happened, man. I messaged my brother yesterday. on episode 4. Oh, go watch Stranger Things. Watch Stranger Things. It's on Netflix. It's 8 episodes. Go watch it now. Okay, I'll check it out. No, go watch it. I will be texting him repeatedly until he does. He's gonna like it. You're gonna want to be on top of this. You're gonna want to be like, yeah, I've already watched that. When people come up to you on the streets like, oh, have you heard of the Stranger Things? Yeah, I have. Bitch, I'm ahead of the curve. You want that to be you. There is Breaking Bad level hype around this. That is gonna be my non-spoiler section for this video. I want to talk about the show now with spoilers. And if you haven't watched, leave. And come back when you finish, we can share. We can discuss this. Goodbye. Come back when you can talk about it. Okay. No! Alright, I'm gonna be all over the place, so if you've just watched episode 1 or something, you're gonna get spoiled. I'm not gonna go in any order, cause I can! Everything is everywhere. Let's start with the sheriff. I really enjoyed this character. The first time we see him sleeping like a hot mess on the couch in his apartment, I'm like, oh, I do not like this guy. And then very soon, we see that this cop is just a victim of boredom and grief. This cop has not had a case to stimulate his mind in a long time, and he is all over this shit, and I love it. He continuously takes risk after risk because he really doesn't care about his own well-being, because his daughter is dead. He's not with his wife anymore. I want him to get together with Joyce eventually. I'm hoping that happens. I loved watching Hopper come back to life. When he broke into the US Department of Energy, my God, I was so nervous every second, every step of the way when he cut open fake Will's chest and it was stuffed. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was creepy AF. When Will initially disappeared, you know, he goes into the shed, he's loading a gun, and the lights flare, and all of a sudden it pops back on, and he's just gone. I was so convinced, I think probably a lot of us were, in the beginning that they were in the electricity now or something. I read a book where that's a thing. My brainwaves kept coming to that conclusion, especially when they were talking through the lights. Now, it never really gets explained how they controlled talking through the lights, because when Joyce was in the Upside Down world with Hopper at the end and they walked through her house, the lights came on as she walked by them. Now, does that mean that when Will was sending her the light messages, he was just holding those lights? Like when he spelled out the letters for her, was he like tapping the lights to make them light up? It's interesting. We never got to actually see how that directly correlates, and that was one of the creepiest parts of this whole phenomena, the lights. The aesthetic of the lights when Joyce went out and bought a million different lights and hung them up, and then we come back to a shot where her house is just full of them. Beautiful. And that was gorgeous. That was everything. That was iconic. Like, this is a new iconic backdrop. Those letters with the lights. It was gorgeous. I regret that I have but one string to throw up for this video. So we have the episode when the cop goes all the way into the US Department of Energy until he reaches the area where the portal is to the big blobby monster dark underworld. Then he gets sucked in the neck, and I was so scared he was gonna disappear and no one was gonna be around to confirm that Joyce wasn't crazy and no one was crazy. And then he wakes up like he was on a binge or something with drugs. I love that he, for not 1 second, thinks, oh, maybe I just dreamed that. He tears apart the apartment looking for the bug, and it's just an amazing scene. I loved it. And then when he comes to Joyce's house and he knocks on the door and he comes with the sign, oh, it was so good. Every time Joyce was on the phone talking to that heavy breather, oh my God, it was like The Ring, man. It was scary. And then when it electrocuted her the first time, I gasped so loud. The second time, I was like, girl, take that phone away from your ear. You're gonna get electrocuted. Did you listen? No. Another phone bites the dust. Let's talk about Joe, shall we? So Joe is Will's older brother, and I'm sorry if I made up the name Joe and that's not actually his name. He's a photographer. I love his camera. Nancy's at this party. The guy she's dating, fake John Ralphio, and Barb, and the douche canoe couple that I don't know what their names are. Joe stumbles across this party, and he starts taking pictures of them, and it's so creepy. And I was like, Joe, stop. You're gonna regret this. I know you're gonna regret it. Hashtag regret already. Stop. Especially when he's taking pictures through. I'm not sure how he actually did this because in reality it looks like the blinds were pretty closed and he got some pretty clear shots of Miss Nancy up in the bedroom. But whatever. Those were the creepiest. And you developed them in like the school photography room. Mistake. Barb! Barb was like one of my favorite characters and I'm so upset she did not make it. I was so bummed and so shocked when the next episode after she's taken opens up with her like all bloody and disgusting in the upside down world. When Nancy crawled through that tree into the belly of the other world. She's running from the thing and I'm just like, go back to the portal. Why are you running away from it? It's like she didn't remember the way she came in. The stress. I thought we were gonna lose Nancy. And Nancy's another one of my favorite characters. Oi! I love the last episode when they're trying to catch the demi-monster, piranha plant in human form. I love when they set all of the traps and they're all ready and they're like back to back. And then the guy she's dating knocks on the door trying to make things right after their fight. Fake John Ralphio. He's a decent dude. But do I want him with Nancy? No. Obviously, I want her with Joe. Obviously. That part when they shove fake John Ralphio out the door, they're like, you have to leave, and then the lights start to flicker again. He comes back in and starts hitting him with the bat, and they get him in the trap, and they spark the gasoline. Yes. Oh, it was such an awesome moment, even though they didn't kill it, which sucks. Like what, fire doesn't kill a demi-drogon monster thing? Right, I guess it teleported back to the shadow world or something. It leaves that goop behind when it does that. Let's turn our attention to the kitties. The kids in this show are fantastic. Oh, I love the curly-haired kid. He's so cute with no teeth. He's the best. And I love how they're all such nerds. And they're so good at problem solving. I love it. Oh my Lord. That scene when the bullies corner them and they're by the quarry. The bully has a knife and he tells Mike to jump off into the quarry. Why the F is Mike jumping off into the quarry? You're not gonna make it. There's rocks like 20 feet in front before there's water. We knew that 11 was gonna be there to save them because we knew that she heard them. But like, Mike, what were you thinking? The stress. That was really cool though when she flew him back up like that. When she made the car lift off. Oh my God. See, right off the bat, I was so suspicious of 11. Like, I think we might have all been. I thought she was an alien. I thought she was that monster and that it could shift shapes. I thought since it took a kid, it could take a kid's shape. I had all different theories running through my mind. I'm still questioning, like, why is her name 11? There's gotta be a reason she's 11 and not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Does that mean that there are 10 other children that were born of these women that might have abilities that are out there somewhere? Does that mean that 10 other children have died having these experiments done to them? Where are these 10 other kids? I think that leaves a lot of potential for more story. I don't know what happened at the end there when Hopper got into the car with, it looked like some more of these US Department of Energy guys. Right? And they drove around and then we see him again and he's bringing food to a box in the forest. I mean, is 11 stuck in the shadow realm? Is that where she is? Is she stuck in the upside down? I don't know. Is there that box like a transfer between worlds? What's happening? He put Eggos in it. It clearly was meant for her. I don't know. It's been so long since I've had an Eggo and now I want to go buy some Eggo waffles. I love the science teacher. I was really afraid that we're gonna kill him too. We really don't see him much, but we really feel like we know him. In the beginning when they're searching for Will, he's out there at night and he's talking about how Will's a good student and if you didn't like science then you just had a bad teacher, and you know teachers like that and they're great. I love that they just call him up at 10 at night and they're like, so if you were gonna make a sensory deprivation tank, how hypothetically would you do it? I feel like 11's gonna come back if we have another season. I'm scared for Will. Clearly, he's not completely healed from whatever trauma happened to him in the underworld. He was there for a whole week without food, without other humans, in this toxic atmosphere, and when we found him, it was Oh my god, he was like on the wall with a snake down his throat and it was horrifying. Thank the heavens he lived, but at what cost is gonna be the question. I love that Nancy got Joe a new camera. Not even Nancy, her boyfriend. I can't remember his name. I just keep calling him fake John Ralphio. I'm sorry. I feel like eventually she is going to break up with boyfriend and go with Joe, and I think that's gonna be real cute. They make a good team. Ken will possibly now maybe have the ability to shadow walk between the two worlds since he survived in both of them. Is there something that happened to him when that snake was inside him? That 1 second when he flopped back into the other world when he washed his hands was horrifying. He also coughed up a disgusting otherworldly slug. This isn't Chamber of Secrets. There's no Hagrid or Madame Pomfrey to go to deal with this shit. We have to learn really how you can travel back and forth more easily. And if this is a toxic environment, what does the environment do to you? How do they know it's toxic? Who has previously been inside it and been intoxicated by whatever toxicness is there? You know, we don't have that answer yet. When it comes out with a second season, I'm definitely gonna be watching it. But it doesn't warm my heart. It doesn't make me feel good. It puts me in a trance where I could do nothing but watch more and think about this story. It's like a love-hate relationship I have going on with this show. I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories for next season, for this season, for anything. Who was your favorite character? I'm gonna say Hopper was my favorite character. I think he was very, very interesting. But I also love Nancy. I love Barb. I wish she lived. I hope that 11 comes back into play. I hope that Joyce adopts her. She had a very motherly vibe going with 11. I am Christine. I make videos every Tuesday. I'm at XTeenMay on Twitter and Instagram. All my links are in the description below. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!